Hi everyone, welcome back to your journey to handstand. It is officially day 6, so we have passed the halfway mark, and these next 5 days are all going to be about finding a little bit more balance, a little bit more confidence, and then moving our practice away from the wall. So today's session, we are going to focus on the kicking up technique. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to use the wall to help you in this, but we will take our handstands to the middle of the room. Don't be scared, it's fine. Then in our workout section, we will add the kicking up techniques into our workout just to get used to it. And then we'll also do a little bit of glute work as a little bit of a rest for the arms, but obviously glutes are very important in our handstand because we need them super active. So first of all, what I want to go through is the kicking up technique itself and how to set the best foundation to then try and find a little bit more balance. So when we kick up, we are going to come down. Actually, I'm going to turn it around the other way. So we're going to come down and place our hands, as always, shoulder distance apart. Round through the upper back. Remember what we said about the fingers. So fingertips pulling down and back. Middle knuckles are grounded into the floor. And then from here, whichever foot feels most comfortable to kick off is going to come as close into the hands as possible. Your back foot is going to lift, so I don't want you just throwing yourselves into it. The more controlled and stable we can get up into it, the better chance we have into balance. So back foot is up, we're rounding through the spine, then bring the weight forward onto those middle knuckles. Good. Notice how you've already set that handstand shape with the lower body before we've even lifted. Now it's just a case of bending the knee that's on the floor. The back foot that is straight is going to shoot all the way up towards the sky. And then we're going to slowly bring it back down. Now, if you're looking at this and think, Sarah, I can't do it, it's fine. All I want you to do is just get used to that weight coming forward and used to sticking that foundation with the upper body, right? So it's only the lower body that kind of has to do the work. We bend the knee, we kick up towards the ceiling, we keep that weight forward. The legs can be parted. It's completely up to you. And then we're going to slowly bring it down. So thinking of those little cues now, pause the video, give me 10 kick-ups on your own in the middle of the room. So even if it looks a little bit like a donkey kick and you're like, Sarah, I can't get up, it's fine. Just get used to the weight being on the hands and being away from the wall. Hit pause and then join me back once you've done. Okay, everyone, I wanted you to try it. I wanted you to just face your fears kind of first before we got into more details. So what I can guarantee is a lot of you are going to come up with the following problems. Number 1 might be that the chest is coming forward. And what happens here is when the chest comes forward, we're not getting the stacking of the hips. So it makes it very much harder to stack the hips on top of the shoulders. That is because you're thinking of bringing the weight through the arms instead of on top. So if this is looking like you at the moment, then what I want you to think about is rounding through the spine and getting the hips on top of the shoulders instead of sending them through the shoulders, if that makes sense. And the most common thing that I generally do see when people are kicking up is when they're not kicking up high enough, but then they also open the chest towards the back. So it'll look a little bit like this. They have the force coming forward, but as soon as the leg lifts, the chest comes towards the back of the mat or the back of wherever they're practicing. This obviously is a force going into the opposite direction of what we need, so it is pretty much impossible to stack. And the second most common kind of mistake or problem that we have into this is just not being able to lift the hips up, right? I know that for a lot of us, this is a scary thing, especially away from the wall, and that we don't just give ourselves enough oomph to get our hips on top of the shoulders. So for both of these problems, we're going to do a little bit of a fabulous drill using our friend Pull the Wall. And we're not going to kick up into the usual way. So I don't actually like kicking up that much facing the wall, just because when we kind of throw ourselves into the wall, we are pushing ourselves past the balance point. So there's no actual control there. So what I want to do, and even though it's a little bit more scary, we will go over falling a little bit later into the course, is we're going to kick up with our backs towards the wall. If you're thinking, Sarah, how do I do this? Just watch, all will be revealed. So from here, hands are going to come a little bit forward. And As always, set the foundation. You know where the grip is, you know where the gaze needs to be. One foot's on the floor and then the other foot is going to go at the wall. So if the hamstrings are tight, the knees can bend. Remember, this is why we need hamstring flexibility, right? We're going to round through the spine. This foot's going to go up towards the ceiling. We're going to bend the leg and the foot that's on the floor is going to come onto the wall first. And then we're going to bring it down. So a few more times, even just to get used to it, bring the foot a little bit lower and then take it down. And just notice where the weight is loading into the shoulders. So as you get a little bit more comfortable with that wall supplying your weight, I want you to bend your knee and kick up so much that you get into that straight handstand shape straight away, and then bring it back down. So the more that we push, the better we can stack all the way up, and we're keeping that weight forward. So the weight has the tendency to come back in towards the wrist. Try not to let it. Remember this leg that's going up first, we're pushing up towards the ceiling. The glutes super squeezed and we're lifting it up and then slowly bringing it down. Perfect. So that is our kind of kick up to handstand using the wall. Pause the video again. Give me 10 of your best kicks up. Remember to video them and tag me in them so I can give you one-to-one feedback. Once you've done those, we'll go into a little bit of conditioning. Awesome, guys. So I hope the kick-ups are serving you well. But please do remember you need to practice outside of this course to get your handstands. Right? So I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks. I'm going to give you the conditionings. But again, it is still up to you to spend even just 5-10 minutes a day, a few days a week to just start kicking up and get used to where the balance point is for us. So now coming into our workout section, it will be 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. 4 exercises that are combating our glutes, our kick-up technique, and obviously the shoulder strengthening as well. So exercise number 1 for 40 seconds, we will be kicking up. I know. So if you want to do this in the middle of the room, you can. If you want to do this with the wall variation that we had earlier, which is what I'm going to do, then please feel free. So 40 seconds, kicking up, nice and controlled. Keep those hands on the ground. And again, just trying to get those hips on top of the shoulders. Exercise number 2 is an in and out squat jump with a reach on the floor. So we're going to be alternating the arms as we do this as well. Exercise number 3, we're going to be at the wall doing an up-down plank. So we are fusing 2 of the moves that we've done already. Our plank pose can be a full variation, or we can do it on our knees. We're going to extend out, push into the wall, hold it for a second or so, and then bring it back down into our plank. So the core will be involved, but of course, strengthening those shoulders as well. And the last one, nice and easy. It's a little bit of a rest for us. We're going to be on our backs with the glute bridge. I like to lift my toes in this one and dig my heels into the ground as we send the hip flexors up and squeeze in the glutes to get the glutes nice and tight. If you want to make it harder, you can place a weight on those hip bones, or if not, you can just take it easy for that one. So that being said, guys, we are going to start off with our kicking up in 10 seconds. So in the middle of the room, or next to the wall, it's completely up to you. So setting that foundation, we're starting in 3, 2, and 1, starting those kicks up. So nice and solid, setting that foundation, setting a tempo, and try and keep the weight forward, right? And if you get a good kick, just try and commit that kind of movement pattern to memory. Good, perfect. By the way, we're doing 3 rounds of this, so shoulders should be on fire by the end of it. Amazing, guys. Over halfway. Keep rounding, keep pushing. If you need a little bit of a break, feel free, but again, not throwing ourselves into it. Keep those hands onto the floor. Top leg leading, glutes nice and squeezed, rib cage in for 2. And 1, good, shake it out, bravo. In and out squats, which I'm wondering, why did I put these in? But yeah, there we go. So alternating the hand that reaches to the floor, we're gonna bring the legs in, back out and squat it down. Good, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1, squat it down, bring it in and out. Good, so a little bit of cardio for us. Nice and explosive on that way up. Good. I'm glad I'm putting this in because I wouldn't have done it by myself else. Amazing, guys. So drop in the squat slow. Weight to the outsides of the feet a little bit, so don't let the knees come in. Set in that rhythm. More than halfway. It's not that bad, actually. Good. Keep it going. For 9. Whew. Good. Exploding on the way up. That little bit of tap in the middle. And release. Coming into the wall, either on your knees or a full plank. So watch the feet don't slip away from you in this one. Tucking the tailbone under. We're going to start in 7 seconds. So take that breather if you need it. Perfect. In 2 and 1. Hands to the wall. Push the wall away. Bring it back down. Perfect. So if you do want to make it a little bit harder, you can add a push-up in between. But really tuck in on that tilting of the pelvis and pushing into the wall to get the core nice and tight, but working those push muscles. That is perfect for our handstands. Amazing. It's kind of annoying that I can't see the clock from here. Woo, 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bravo. Coming down onto your back, taking that 20 seconds rest. So glute bridges, feet come in, tuck the tailbone under. We're going to push through the heels to lift the hips up. Try not to relax at the bottom. Just give it an extra squeeze to send the hips back up. So nice and slow and controlled to get that booty burn. Let's go. Lifting it up high, squeezing, and then slowly lowering. Good. Keep the tailbone tucked under for this one. We're not coming into back bends. We want the glutes super nice and active. Like I said before, if you wanted to make it harder, you can bring weights on those hip bones. That's the word I'm looking for. Good. So setting that rhythm. Keep that tailbone tucked. Heels digging into the ground. Inner thighs pulling in towards each other. Amazing, guys. Try not to let it release at the bottom. Just finding that full kind of range of motion. That little bit of burning into the glutes. Fabulous. Round 1 is done. I like these exercises, actually. So coming in round 2, you're kicking up to your handstands. So shaking it out. We've got 7 seconds, and then we can start our kick up. So hands onto the ground. If you want to swap the leg that's kicking up, feel free. Let's go. Kicking it up high, and then bringing it down. Good. Oh, this leg's not as responsive for me. It just shows that I do have a favourite, even though it's not very yogi of me. But that's hand balance of life for you. Now I've got it. Good. Core nice and tight, reaching up towards that ceiling. Stacking the shoulders, not pushing through them. Good. Keep the gaze back. 13 more seconds. Whew. I'm burning now. Breathing. Doesn't help that I record these one after another. Good. Holding. Let's go. And release. Bravo. Shake the shoulders out. In and out. Squat jumps. We've got 15 seconds rest. I'm going to do this on the side so it gives you a little bit of a different viewpoint. Good. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the squat, hand come down. Feet in and out. So switching the arms. Finding a nice, steady tempo. Good. Try and keep the chest lifted. Weight back onto the heels as you pop it up. Amazing. My Fitbit's just told me I've done 10,000 steps. Yay! Good. Halfway there, guys. Can't stop. Won't stop. Nice, strong booties. 4. Our stable handstands. 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Bravo. Coming down onto the ground. Next to the wall, up, down plank. You can do it in full plank. You can do it on your knees like me if you wish. 10 seconds break. So take a few big deep breaths. Starting in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Tucking the tailbone under, pushing in towards that wall. Amazing. So the lower down you are, the more the core is going to work. Fabulous. Oh, we got this. If your knees are slipping like mine, I am sorry. Glutes squeezed more than halfway. Come on. Nice, guys. That big push on the wall. Stabilizing that core. 8 seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bravo. Bringing it down onto your backs. Glute bridges that feel like a fabulous rest. If you want to do one-legged or single glute bridges for the last 2 rounds, you can. If you're coming with me, tuck that tailbone under, squeezing over the glutes, we're driving through the heels, lifting the hips up. Good. And then slowly bring it down. Good. So not bending, thinking about just activating into the glutes. Inner thighs pulling in towards each other like this magnetic little energy. Trying not to open at the bottom. Good. Driving the hips up and down. Amazing. Using this time to catch our breaths, I think. 9 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Yay. Our last kick-ups, last round, and then I am going to leave you in peace. Oh, I like this one, actually. We got this. 7 more seconds. So setting up, hands onto the ground. I'm going to go freestanding for these ones. Rounding through the upper back, set the foundation, kicking it up. Good. If you want to try and bring both feet together, if you are kicking up on the floor, awesome. If not, those little kicks of loading of the shoulders are still going to help us in our handstands. Oh, I nearly lost it then. Good. Talking and handstanding is hard, by the way. More than halfway, guys. So pushing into the floor, remember biceps next to the ears. Weight forward across that middle knuckle, not back onto the palms. Setting the gaze. 7 more seconds, we got this. Give me at least 3 more kicks. Big squeeze of the glutes as we go up. And time. In and out squats. Fabulous. Take a breather, roll out the shoulders. Whichever arm you start with, switch it over and all that jazz. I actually like squats. Does that make me weird? Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, bring it in. Perfect. Nice and explosive. On the way up, chest lifted, that little graze of the hands on the floor, and then popping it to center. Good. Bet you didn't expect cardio in a handstand class, right? Halfway there. Good. Just because you might be getting fatigued, don't get lazy. Push into the outsides of those feet when you bring it into the squat. 7 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Good. Come in next to the wall. On the knees or in full plank, up, down plank, using a wall. Good. So it's like a diagonal line from our hands to our glutes, guys. 5 seconds, starting positions. Tuck that tailbone under, reaching forward, core super tight, and bring it down. Good. Pushing and lengthening. We're breathing. Amazing. That overhead extension as we push. And the core stability. Amazing. Tuck the chin in. Try not to look forward, especially if it's aggravating those fabulous trap muscles. 15 seconds. We got this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze the glutes. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bravo. I hope you realise I'm calling out things that I'm forgetting to do as well, because we're only human. So the last one, your glute bridges, or single leg glute bridge, if you did it on the first round. Feet in, tailbone tucked under, grounding through the heels. Let's go, lift it up. Nice. That big squeeze at the top. Amazing. Getting a little bit of stability in our legs. Inner thighs pulling together. So if you notice that your legs are coming out in this one, and you want to counteract it the next time you do this workout, you can put a booty band just above the knees if you need to make it a little bit more switched on and engaged. Good. 13 seconds, guys. Keeping it going. pushing and lifting. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, bravo. Bring the knees in. Congratulations, our workout is done. So day 6 officially done. We've gone through the kicking up techniques. The most important things that I want you to remember out of them is the activation of the leg that's going up first. So not the leg that's on the floor, but instead the leg that's high towards the sky. I want you to think about squeezing that glute and keeping the leg super active as if you're pushing it up towards the sky and not over the head. Number 2 is not jumping through the arms, instead jumping on top of the arms and the shoulders. And just to repeat myself, keep that weight forward, guys, because that's where you're going to find balance in using your fingers. And that is it for today. So tomorrow we will go through finding a little bit more balance. So little drills that we can use on the wall to help us find our line and our balancing point. I'll see you all then.